I got into Rolling Stone as an unsigned artist, and you're probably wondering, A, how, and B, who are you? I'm not offended. I get it. I really do. At the time, I did not have a manager. I didn't have a publicist. I didn't have a booking agent. And I'll be real, I still don't have those things. But you don't need any of them to land yourself some really good organic press. What I did have was this one major mindset shift that not only landed me in Rolling Stone, but got me Triple J recognition, funding for my first ever national tour, which is still crazy, and also landed me my first ever support slot for a label-backed artist. Hey, now you're asking what changed? Well, let me tell you. My name's Teresa. I'm an Australian pop rock artist, and if you're an emerging artist too, we've probably had very similar careers. I studied music and I'd been releasing, performing, producing music for around 5 or 6 years. And as I was refining my sound, I realized I'm ready to take it to the next level. Which leads to the first of the 5 very important steps involved in this mindset shift, which is A, have a song that is good. I'm so sorry, but I just need to state the obvious here. Is your song good? This is something that's been really driven home, especially at this music convention I went to, which I'll tell you about in a different video. But before you go and spend all your time, effort, resources, and money, or your money, on this campaign, the song actually has to be good. So how do you know if it's good? A, look, there's a long way and a short way that you're gonna know. The short way is you'll know in your gut. Like, you'll know that this is a song that represents you. You'll know that this is a song that represents where you're going. If you're still a bit unsure, I would just say sit on it. Send the song to friends who are in the music industry, who aren't, maybe some family. And eventually you'll know what the song is. I hate to say when you know, but you kind of do. And for me, that song was Let's Commit Arson.
It's such a happy day to commit arson. Just 'cause we want it is a valid reason. Look at the voices in my head that sing, and I'm crazy and I'm over it, crazy and I'm over it.
Arson is super reflective of me as an artist because it is upbeat and really dynamic, but also has some really dark lyrics. I essentially wrote it about nihilism. Like, we could die tomorrow, right? So why not use your free will and do the things that you love? And those things might be committing arson. I think that extreme hyperbole of, if there's one thing you want to do in your life and that's commit arson, then go do it. Like, I think that's honestly part of why I landed my inclusion, but I digress. Figure out which song it is, make sure it is good. And then we can move over to step 2, which is creating some stunning marketing assets. Before you pitch yourself as a serious artist, especially to a publicist, you are going to need a really good visual representation of your art. Also, if the song's a bit wacky like mine was, it just wasn't gonna make sense without visuals. So look at the song and assess what can you do on the visual side that will help enhance the song and also put your best foot forward as an artist. So remember how I said I didn't have a publicist or a manager or a booking agent? Following along with this theme of mindset, I didn't go, I don't have a team, woe is me, I'm just not gonna do anything. I was like, I have so many creative friends. I have creative friends who are makeup artists, hairstylists, photographers, videographers, creative directors, and they are like genuinely my friends. So when it came time to producing something like this, I was like, I just want to hang out with my friends and make something really cool and awesome. We organized a full day shoot. It was literally like, I think 9 to 5. And it was actually reality more like 7 to 5 for me because I had hair and makeup. We shot the cover art, we shot the Spotify canvas, we shot the promotional photos, promotional videos, lip sync videos, teasers for each section of the song. And if it sounds like a lot of work, it is. It is. And you should love it. Like, in my opinion, I think if you really want to build a career in this industry, you should love most of the process. It's okay if some things aren't your bread and butter, but if you don't like a majority of this stuff, you're gonna have a hard time. Now that we've got all our marketing assets, the next thing you're gonna do is build an EPK. I'm not gonna talk much about this one just because I think there's other videos that probably do it a lot better than I will. It's essentially an electronic press kit, and what will be in there is a photo of the single artwork, links to your song, links to the high-res beautiful photo and video that you created at your shoot day, and a bit of information about the song. I highly recommend hiring a freelance writer who can write your bio and a little bit about the song for you. Really want to stand out and make sure it's good. But now that we've got this press kit, who the hell are we sending it to? And the 4th step is to remember you are pitching to journalists, not publications. Are there any artists in your scene who are really killing it and getting some really good coverage? And if you like the journalists writing and you like the type of genre they're covering, now you know that's the type of person you want to pitch to. And step number 5, you actually pitch. And when you're pitching to them, make sure it's actually someone you admire. For me, with my Rolling Stone inclusion, this journo had just so much really cool world experience. And then he came over to Australia and just loved the Melbourne music scene. And I found that really cool that, wow, you've seen the world of music and you think Australia is awesome? That was really cool. So when I pitched to him, I mentioned that and I included my song and I said, hey, no pressure. Genuinely, like, I just want to get on your radar. Here's what I've got coming out. let me know what you think. No expectation whatsoever. And out of all of the pictures I sent, and I sent so many, that was the one that landed. And why did it land? It was the human connection. I genuinely respected their work and their art, and they genuinely vibed with mine. It's as simple as that. I remember I was leaving work, it was the end of the day, no one was in the office, and I checked my phone compulsively, my emails, and I saw the email and I got it. And it was so surreal because you have those little wins that aren't so little, and then you just have to go about your day. But the reason I'm hounding this mindset shift about focusing on human connection is because that is what will shine. That is what will work. That is also probably what you connect to the most, right? When you hear a really good song that's got an amazing visual world, that's got a really good story that you can read about, it's gonna connect. Like, inevitably it's gonna connect. And also it just makes your music career journey so much more enjoyable. And that is how I got into Rolling Stone as an unsigned artist. And remember, all these little wins, they are all little dominoes and little stamps of approval that will lead to the next one. And if you're interested to know how I went on tour as a unsigned artist with no label, no management, no tour manager, you're gonna want to join me for the next video. Make sure you like if you enjoyed, comment what was like most interesting about this process, or what did you not expect about this process. And if you want to hear about how I self-organize my tour, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.